Hello and welcome to Access Asia. I'm Yuka Royer. Coming up, India scraps an order to pre-install a government-backed security app on all new smartphones 48 hours after issuing a directive aimed at preventing crime. This amid a massive public outcry and resistance from tech companies. Disney's Zootopia 2 breaks box office records in China. Local fans just can't get enough of the police buddy comedy, making it the highest-grossing animated foreign film ever in the country. This despite headwinds against Hollywood films trying to win back the world's second-largest cinema market. India's government tried to force its own security app pre-installed on all mobile phones and quickly backtracked following a public uproar. The app, called Sanchar Saathi, is intended to protect users and prevent crime by tracking or blocking stolen phones. But the government's attempt to make it mandatory raised concerns that it could be used for mass surveillance. Several smartphone makers, including Apple and Google, were reportedly preparing to push back against the order. Now, for more on the story, let's cross now to Nikhil Pahwa, a digital policy analyst in New Delhi and the founder of Medianama. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, first of all, how does this app work?
So this app resides in your phone and it takes access to your call records, to your messages, and to files on your device. And also it can read the IMEI number, which is an identification number of your device. And in case you want to report a fraud call or a spam call, or if your phone is stolen, you can use the app to get that that device blocked because you have the IMEI number. So it's meant to be a security app, but it also has widespread access to your device. It was mandatorily, without consent, without permission, being installed on every single device in the country. And that's what was a cause for concern.
And why did the government make this quick U-turn?
Well, we raised our voices. Many of us went to Twitter and highlighted the fact that this could be a tool for surveillance, that this perhaps may not have been the end of it. If we allow one app from the government onto our device, then who knows which other apps will be pushed through next. And also the fact that a device like this, which is being used to allow us to complain about things, can also be used to take our information out of our device and perhaps even plant information on our devices. So especially for journalists and opposition politician members who tend to be under attack from the government or under surveillance, this presents a serious risk. There's also a significant cybersecurity risk because the Indian government isn't necessarily known for making the most secure websites and apps. And so if it's on 1 billion devices, then all someone has to do is hack one app to get access to 1 billion devices. So lots of problems with this, and it wasn't thought through. And following the backlash, the government initially said that, you can delete it if you want, whereas the initial order did not allow for deletion of the app. And then later on, they scrapped the whole idea.
So as you just mentioned, there are more than 1 billion phones active in India. How serious then is cybercrime, and what kind of fraud or theft is the government trying to combat?
So over the last 7 or 8 years, the amount of frauds have increased rapidly in India. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been defrauded in the last year alone. There are the latest of the lot are digital arrest scams, where someone through social engineering convinces that a package that they were sending to another country like Vietnam or Thailand has been found to have narcotics in them, and then there's this whole scheme where sometimes for a day they are on a video call with a fraudster who forces them to eventually give up their bank account details, and money is taken out. The sophistication of frauds and the scale of frauds is quite worrying. And in that sense, the government has now taken upon itself to do something to try and address them, except all what they are doing now is imposing more and more restrictions on phone users rather than police action trying to catch fraudsters.
And just very quickly, the app is no longer mandatory, but it's still available. Are there a lot of people who trust its safety and willingly download it?
Yes, there are. In fact, there are folks that I've spoken with actually find the app very useful. And like I said, it's not about what the app promises to do. It's about what the app can do. It's about the fact that this could be the start of something new with different government departments pushing apps onto our devices. And so we don't want our choice to be taken away from us. Our mobile phones are our private spaces. There are there's personal communication, personal files. You might have your health data on your device. And so we don't want a government application mandatorily on our devices. It's not as much of a question of what this app does, but a great deal of distrust of what the government intends to do or may do in the future. Because once that door is open, once an app is allowed mandatorily on a device, who knows what's next?
Well, Nikhil Pahwa, thank you so much for your insights. Moving on. Disney's Zootopia 2, a sequel to the 2016 hit animation that follows a cop duo, a rabbit named Judy and a fox called Nick, has hit cinemas around the world. And nowhere at the international box office has it found more success than in China. It has become the highest-grossing animated foreign film ever in the country, accounting for 95% of all movie ticket sales over its opening weekend. This is a big deal because Chinese cinemagoers have been less and less interested in foreign films, and the Beijing government has taken steps to punish US films in response to American tariff policies. France 24's Charlie James is here to talk about Zootopia's runaway success and Hollywood's future in cinema. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Yuka.
Great to have you here.
Great to be with you.
So, first of all, why is this film franchise so popular in China?
So the first Zootopia film, it followed the story of a country bunny that moves to the big city for work. And this is a story that deeply resonated with a lot of Chinese people, many of whom made that similar journey. Now, the second one, it's a buddy comedy between these two cop partners, but it also touches on themes of social harmony and diversity and not being judgmental of people. And these are themes that resonate with the Chinese public and also, importantly, pass muster with Chinese censors.
Interesting.
So let's get a little bit of a taste of the film with this short clip.
Let me ask you something. Do you think we're a good team?
Of course. I just wish I knew what we had to do to prove it to everyone else. We check the perimeter, snoop a little, we find nothing, we bail.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Chinese audiences also really like the characters, Yuka. In fact, Disney opened the only one in the world, a Zootopia experience at Disneyland Shanghai back in 2023 to capitalize on the popularity of these characters.
There's only one in the world.
The only one in the world, and there's a ride. They've recreated the whole city. It's very cool. There's the ride where you're actually in the police car with Nick and Judy. That's this here. But why don't we hear from a few Zootopia fans about why they love the films?
I think the sequel is better because it has two more characters, a snake and a beaver.
Yes, I'm a Zootopia superfan. I have a lot of merchandise and plan to watch together with my friend.
I think its pacing and innovative elements really resonate with children.
So there's this existing fan base, but Disney also made a big marketing push. Splashy premiere, partnering with companies like China Eastern Airlines, where they created this Zootopia plane and Zootopia-themed flight. But still, the level of success that the film had was a surprise. Over $275 million in its first 6 days of release. And like you said, 95% of all movie tickets sold over the opening weekend were for Zootopia 2. Those are crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers indeed. And this, as Hollywood has been having a dismal year for ticket sales. So this could be good news for the industry.
That's right. So China, it's the second largest film market in the world. And Hollywood studios used to rely on Chinese moviegoers to boost their sales. Even a bomb in the U.S. market could make a lot of money if it was popular in China. But recently, movies made in China, including animated films, have been way more popular in China. Only 5% of overall box office sales are Hollywood films now. And then Hollywood got caught up in the tariff war between the U.S. and China. In retaliation for higher tariffs on Chinese goods, China said, we're not going to allow as many Hollywood films in. They've been allowing 10 films in a year. Now they said they're going to cut that without saying exactly how many. So now Hollywood's going to have even fewer shots at cracking this market.
So are film studios then going to try to recreate Zootopia's success in China?
There is a second test coming up very soon for Hollywood. It's Avatar, Fire, and Ash. It's the third Avatar film. It's coming out in China on December 19th. So this is another franchise that's been extremely popular in China. And in fact, the world that Avatar is set in, Pandora, it's inspired by a forest in a national park in the Hunan province of China. But the original Avatar, it was a sensation back in 2010 when it opened in China. It was one of the first major Hollywood box office movies to sweep the nation, super popular with millennials. And so Hollywood is hoping that those Chinese millennials, they'll be back and maybe they'll bring their kids this time. They're sending director James Cameron to Shanghai for a big premiere event. And so if, like Zootopia, Avatar can hit these huge, hundreds of millions of dollars numbers again, it could determine whether Hollywood decides that China is in fact a bankable market again. In that case, we could see more studios following suit with big marketing campaigns, sending stars for premieres, even greenlighting scripts that will explicitly appeal to Chinese audiences. I don't think it's an accident that in the Chinese zodiac, it's the year of the snake, and in Zootopia 2, a big storyline revolves around a snake character.
Must watch that. Well, Charlie James, thank you so much for that. And that's it from us for this week. Thanks for watching and see you next time.